Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Feast of Legends and Dungeons & Dragons and the bald-faced commercialism of Feast of Legends and what it means for the tabletop role-playing game industry. All right, so just let me do a quick recap just in case you're not aware. Yesterday, there was a very, very important tabletop role-playing game release. It was Feast of Legends. Feast of Legends is a fully playable, fully formed tabletop role-playing game that was created by the Wendy's burger chain. The fast food restaurant Wendy's has created their own tabletop role-playing game. It is very strange and very amazing and very epic, and it is historically important. All right, so one, it is really out. The product is truly out there. So basically, just to be clear, like page 2, like when you just get, like when you get in and you get past when you get to the intro page, there's one intro and it says, hey, this is Feast of Legends. It's a fully formed tabletop role-playing game. You can play it. And there is Queen Wendy, right? And they call her the Clapback Queen, right? And she has a sword and she's wearing armor and she looks epic. Right? It's Wendy, you know, she's got the red hair. It's cool, right? And and then it says, hey, you know, she's fighting against frozen beef. And you're like, wait, what? You know, like, because it is formed like a fantasy tabletop role-playing game. It's actually very carefully structured to look and play just like Dungeons & Dragons, right? But it is bald-faced commercial, right? It is very, very commercial product. So you have the order of the Baconator, the order of the bacon cheese fries, the order of the spicy chicken sandwich. Your characters are literally following, they use as their deity almost, right? The menu items, right from the items from the menu of Wendy's, right? It is a celebration of Wendy's as a corporation, right? Now, this is incredible. This is truly incredible. Now, this game is free, right? So one of the things is people are going to interact with this game in different ways, right? Some of them are just going to download it and look at it and read it. Some of them are download it and scan it, right? And actually, that's interesting because when you scan through, you might go, hey, how are they doing the attributes here? And the way they're doing the attributes is quite interesting, right? Very interesting. Your attributes are like from 8 to 16, just like Dungeons & Dragons, right? When you start. This game really is designed to play like Dungeons & Dragons, right? But it's very, like, it's all there, right? Now, here's the issue. Already, so yesterday, as soon as I saw this, I began reading it immediately, right? And the other issue is I went to YouTube to see what commentators were saying, and there was very few commentary on it. And one of the reasons why is I think a lot of people didn't even know what to think. They're like, and so I watched one commentator on it. It was on a show called Derailed, and he was like, hey, it's just a joke. You're better off just playing Dungeons & Dragons. And the reality is, I'm like, hey, dude, you're not getting this, right? Oh, I'm sorry. I did talk about how are people going to interact with this. So some people are just going to scroll through this thing and they're going to just see it, right? Like, they'll just skim through it. Now, that'll be it. That's all they'll ever see of it, right? Some people will read this thing cover to cover as a study of the tabletop role-playing game industry. And there are going to be tables, without a doubt, there are going to be tables where some college kids, some middle-aged people, they're going to play this for fun. They're literally going to play it. They're going to play it just to be like, okay, I attack the Frosty monster, right? They're going to play it just to, and here's the thing. There's going to be some really good dungeon masters who do something really special. And there will be epic games that are remembered for decades of when they played Feast of Legends, right? There's also going to be a lot of streamed games. There's going to be streamed games where people play through this and stream it just for the views, just for the clicks, just for the lols, and, you know, that's there, right? Now, I think the thing that guy said in a Derailed video, so that's how all these people are going to interact with this thing, right? So some of the people are just going to skim it. Some people are going to genuinely read it and are be entertained by the reading of it. Some people are going to be actually entertained by the playing of it, right? But what is the purpose of this thing, right? So one of the people I listened to yesterday, they're like, you're just better off staying with Dungeons & Dragons. And that is fundamentally, absolutely wrong, right? We've always had Dungeons & Dragons. This is the perfect time for Feast of Legends, right? If you want to play 5th edition, great. You've had almost 6 years to play Dungeons & Dragons. This is a perfect time for a break from Dungeons & Dragons to play Feast of Legends, right? So here's the thing. this guy was very dismissive, and he's like, this is just a commercial product, right? It's just putting shine on Wendy's. No, you got it so wrong, right? We in the industry, right, our game masters and definitely tabletop role-playing game designers need to pay very, very, very close attention to this, right? Because it brings up major questions for the role-playing game industry, okay? So let's start knocking them off, right? So one, this is a bald-faced commercial product, right? Now, we have to stop and look at this, right? Here's the thing. Wendy's wants to put shine on their product. They want to put shine on their burgers, shine on their chicken sandwiches, shine on their bowls of chili, shine on the experience of going to their restaurant, right? So what do they do to be cooler, to be in the limelight? They make a tabletop role-playing game, and the reason why is that is cool, right? Look where we have come. This is incredible, right? The idea used to be that, just dudes who sat in their mother's basements play Dungeons and Dragons, right? And look how far we've come. If there is a guy in his mother's basement, right, playing Dungeons and Dragons, he's there because he's installing a router in the home he bought his mother when his company just IPO'd. Days are different. The old, jocks don't play D&D and nerds play D&D, that is gone, right? Tabletop role-playing games are now very closely aligned, have been fully accepted by many different diverse groups, right? Tons, actual real stars play Dungeons and Dragons. The idea that Dungeons and Dragons is a nerd hobby is 100% gone. Even the word nerd and geek no longer hold any of the freight they held before. We are in a different world now, right? And we need to accept that it has flipped 180 degrees. And while in the old days people would be, might have thought that there was some kind of uncoolness connected to D&D, those days are gone. And D&D has become so cool, so accepted, so mainstream that rubbing it up against your product can make your product cool, right? And I honestly think there's going to be a lot of very uninformed, unnuanced, unbrilliant opinions that people should ignore this product. We should not. We should really, really, really up this product. Every player, every game master, every game designer should take that link and put a positive note on it onto your social media. Whether your social media is YouTube, whether it's Insta, whether it's Reddit, whether it's Facebook, or whether it's Twitter, right? This thing should be upped. And the reason why is this is the mainstream coming to us and giving us a hug, right? And we got to hug back. Don't stand there with your arms stiff, right? Accept it. This, and the reality and the reason why is we want the money. We want the hundreds of millions of dollars that are going to come with companies saying, we want Amazon saying, oh my gosh, we need a Prime Day tabletop role-playing game, right? Because they're going to come and they're going to get a tabletop role-playing game designer to make it. And that person could be paid $200,000, $400,000, $500,000 for that project, right? This is great for everybody. This is really, really great. And it's a huge opportunity, right? But it could disappear in a moment if we don't respond correctly to it, right? This is a really, really, really big deal. It is very, very big deal. And so even though this is clearly a bald-faced commercial attempt to take the goodwill that Dungeons & Dragons has earned and rub it like butter onto Wendy's, that's absolutely good, right? They are acknowledging the power of our community, the transformation of our community from nerds sitting into a basement to super dope, cool, black sunglass wearing cool people. That's who we are now. That's who we are. Let's embrace it. Let's celebrate it, right? I really think Feast of Legends is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful occurrence, right? It's an event, right? And honestly, I think and here's the other thing. I am now predicting Feast of Legends will absolutely remain very important within this space because it's the first. It's the first of the open, baldly commercial tabletop role-playing games, right? And it's also an understanding that tabletop role-playing games are a platform, right? They're a platform for a message. Every tabletop role-playing game player, every tabletop role-playing game master, every tabletop role-playing designer needs to see the incredible importance of this event and celebrate it. Get in, have fun, right? Get your glow necklace on and get into the rave. This is a good thing. Don't stick your nose up, back off, and not see the cool things that are happening here and be like, I'm too cool for school and to play a character from the Order of Baconator, right? See it for what it is. This is a huge opportunity for us, and it's really a very clear recognition of us as a community and how we've changed, and right, and that Dungeons and Dragons is really no longer a nerd game. It is an awesome, epic tale, right? All that's my opinion. I'd love to hear your opinion. Please let me know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.